Welcome back, my beautiful humans. I'm your host, Nicole, and this is another episode of If I Die Tomorrow. I'm so grateful you joined me today. I'm going to ask, have you ever walked into a place that used to feel like home, but suddenly felt heavy and unwelcoming, not even familiar? I'm not talking about an old house or childhood bedroom. I'm talking about a friendship, a career path, a social circle, or even a set of beliefs that used to completely define you. For years, that space was exactly where you belonged. It gave you comfort, purpose, and community. But lately, there's been this quiet, persistent friction. Nothing dramatic, no major fight, no explosive fallout, just a slow, undeniable realization that you don't fit there anymore. Many of us deal with an incredible amount of guilt when this happens. We confuse growth with betrayal. Today, I want to talk about the difficult, beautiful reality of outgrowing the rooms we used to love and how to walk out of them with grace without bitterness. There's this guilt of changing, and the hardest part about outgrowing the space or the relationship is the internal narrative that we create. We tell ourselves that if we change, we're turning our back on the people, the roles, the communities that helped shape us to be the people we are. We stay in conversations that drain us or positions that suck our soul because we feel obligated to our history and loyalty. We treat our lives like a permanent monument instead of a living, breathing ecosystem. But growth requires movement. I mean, when a plant outgrows its pot, we don't blame the plant for needing and wanting more room to expand. And we don't blame the pot for staying the original size. We just recognize that the environment can no longer sustain the growth. It is entirely possible to deeply appreciate what a person, a job, or a community did for you in a specific season, while simultaneously acknowledging that their part in your story has come to a natural end. You don't need to make something bad just to justify leaving it behind. I think we have this midlife shift, and there's so many of us that are wrestling with this right now. It happens in our careers when the goals that used to drive us suddenly feel hollow and shallow, and we find ourselves craving simplicity over status. It happens in friendships when we realize the only thing holding us together is histories and not shared values or present day connection. Don't get me wrong, we all have friends that we haven't seen or spoken with in years, and we value them as friends, and we can see them and pick right back up. I'm just saying that priorities shift, and they're not center stage in this season. And it is terrifying to admit that the room you worked so hard to get into is no longer the room or you want to be in or the table you want to sit at. When we pretend that we still fit into the spaces that we've outgrown, we just bring a we just we bring a frustrated, angry, compromised version of ourselves to a table, we become resentful and we shut down. And we use the fact that others notice that we're not excited to be there anymore, that we don't fit, to excuse our own guilt. And then we're shocked that they call us out because we're not yet able or ready to acknowledge, identify, and be honest with ourselves and remove that guilt. And it's not fair to you, and it's not fair to them, because they deserve someone who wants to be there in that room and sitting at that table. So, here's the truth I'd like you to carry in your heart this week, or when the guilt of outgrowing a space creeps in. Leaving a space that no longer fits is not an act of betrayal. It's an act of honor to the season that served you as you grew. You can close a door with a handful of gratitude and humility. You don't have to slam it, nail it shut, concrete it, and you definitely don't have to burn the building down on your way out. Even though I think we've all envisioned that at one time or another, we can just say thank you for what was and gently step into what is. In closing, as you go about your week, take an honest look at the rooms you're occupying. Are you staying out of genuine connection, or are you staying out of guilt and fear? If there is a space that you have outgrown, please give yourself permission to gently loosen your grip. Acknowledge the people there, bless and use humility and gratitude for the season that you walked together. Your life is too short to shrink yourself, to continue to stay in spaces you've already expanded past and moved on from. As always, be kind, be grateful, stay humble. I'll talk to you soon.